early on is with the eyes, or what they can like now get sweat happening on the skin, where I'm just like,
hey brother, watch out!
To see what
new hardware was literally just the bigger spaces.
Maybe 10 times the size, at least, of explorable space.
The challenge for us is, and the thing that's been super hard is like, is when things have been more linear for us. It does
Ways to get there, but you still have to get there. Now, the complexity comes in that every one of those ways has to be thought out and well designed.
And we were able to kind of stick every step along the way, kind of composition of art.
We let you have forward at a very fast pace.
That's right! Wait, don't worry, I got this! I don't got this!
At the same time, improve the detail of any one area. So we've increased the density of detail and the size of the world all at the same time.
They mean more detail. In fact, that's one of the things that we're really shooting for in this game is a higher level of detail on the PlayStation 4 and the experience for our gamers.
So, a lot more thought and a lot more time. It's not just, any old dirt will do. It's a very specific dirt, and how wet is that dirt? How many pebbles are pushing up in that dirt? And you take that.
From Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4 is texture resolution. Bigger texture means more detail.
The new hardware just allows us.
For Nathan Drake. Think about, we have Elena, we have Nadine, we have Rafe, we have Sully, we have Drake's brother.
Everything for immersive experience, but it takes a lot of time.
And hundreds of objects that can be destructible and it's moving around.
Your cover can be destroyed, so you have to move around more. Seeing all this stuff happening, the screen is so much more alive. The world is much more alive.
Game, and that why shouldn't every part of this game be the best thing, the best art, the best, have design really be like serious.
And once that kind of gets into the DNA,
the experience, it shouldn't stand out as the experience.
Hop on! Here, take this!
It's really believing it.
I think we lost him.
Hey, Nate, we can never, ever come back to this city.
Add it to the list.
The biggest, all the great details that brings in, and then we inject the look and feel that we've come to expect from the characters that we know.
Because when we do need to animate something that we can't capture, it has to look exactly like something that we captured.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for my little brother.
Sam?
It's good to see you again, Nathan.
God, Sam.
Oh, all right. Take it easy, take it easy.
Last gen,
that all of our cutscenes are now in-game.
What it boils down to is blurring the line between when do we kind of make this a pure cinematic moment that you just sit back and enjoy versus you right now, do your thing.
People don't only want to watch passive.
What serves the story? And traditionally, and this isn't any different, we try to keep as much of the big action in the hands of the player. So it's not something that you finish something in the game.
Those set pieces. So to have like a really interesting combat encounter with a lot of different options and a lot going on within.
The gameplay, the environment, the music, everything is coming together to make you as the player feel like you're
difficult.
Push content that now needs to fill like 8 gigs versus the 253.
You have all this memory, you have all this new processing power, so I knew that there would be how big that leap was going to be.
Put in the game, like, how do you put a vehicle in Uncharted and still make it Uncharted?
Oh, this was really a great idea, Nate. Do you want to try? Oh, you're doing just fine.
They want it to feel like the interaction is causing things to happen. So whenever it's driving over dusty terrain, there's a lot of dust kick up. And then, say you go into a muddy section, the effects are going to communicate that to spin out. Then they're going to kick up a lot of mud, and the vehicle's going to get muddy. And
City driving quickly is quite a challenge because you're looking at all that geometry and all that complexity just flying by you, but you can't halfway do it.
Obviously, the rope has a huge effect on combat, so we've got melee moves that come out of rope, either in open combat or in stealth.
One thing I really appreciated that but get back into our gut of what is Uncharted, what is the traversal gunplay.
What we wanted to do with the combat is really push the things that are unique to Drake. Amazing ability to traverse through the environment. The climbing system in Uncharted 4 has been completely overhauled. We've come up with a system that gives just an unprecedented amount of fine control over Drake as he climbs. You have full analog control over both of his hands to put his hand exactly on the rock, on the handhold where you want it to be, and fluidly go from one climb to another. When he's climbing on the outside of a vehicle, he's moving with that vehicle. With his weight on that vehicle, the PlayStation 4 gives us that we have so much more memory that tends to fit all this motion, all this animation in memory.
Both the enemies and your allies can view the terrain in kind of this 3D space.
When you have big spaces and you have the mobility,
there's a lot of really nuanced, for example, how exposed an AI is as they're taking a flank route. They now have this really complex knowledge of the exposure to the player's vision as they're taking.
Really wanted you to move through the environment, to outsmart them, to flank them, for them to be able to chase you.
From The Last of Us and brought those in so the player has more choices in combat, lose their line of sight, and just sneak past them and not even have to encounter them.
It used to be that you're either in stealth or you're in combat. And now there's these kind of varying levels of, and once they lose you after combat, they'll go into search where they'll kind of canvas the area looking for you. We always had contextual moves where you could slam guys into a wall and beat them up. Enemies are able to do that to you as well, where two enemies are attacking you at once, and it's not in a scripted way. It can happen kind of in any combat encounter. Cool is that they're kind of added in this way that's elegant. It's very much that same kind of seamless, very smooth Uncharted experience from relatively few mechanics.
And gorgeous animations that feels very rooted and grounded, but at the same time gives you the responsiveness. You're gonna get to play this. We're showing off in a way of just look how gorgeous this can be. Look at what we can do. Look at the colors.